So we're always being told that one of the major benefits of EVs is their relative simplicity, which means lower repair costs compared to traditional internal combustion engine cars. They're just a battery and a motor, right? I mean, what could go wrong? And there may be an element of truth in this in relation to regular maintenance costs, as you don't need to change the oil, replace plugs or air filters or anything like that. But it certainly isn't true in relation to EV repairs following an accident or an incident. Some of these costs can be absolutely eye-watering, as we'll see in this video. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another one of my EV Realist videos in which I seek to inject a note of sanity into the mad dash for EVs and net zero. So if you like this kind of content, it'd be great to have you as a subscriber. And don't forget to enable all notifications so you never miss another video. And by the way, if you ever see replies to comments asking you to get in touch via Telegram or any other messaging service, please ignore them. They're spam and they're not from me. The only channels I'm currently using for communication are email and Instagram. I do have a presence on Facebook and Twitter, but I rarely use them, so just be warned. So back to the video, and firstly we'll take a look at an article from the Wall Street Journal which digs into this problem and really explains how there's much more to it than meets the eye. Why repairing your EV is so expensive. Battery-powered vehicles face longer wait times and bigger repair bills than gasoline engine vehicles. Electric vehicle owners are finding a surprising downside to their new wheels. They tend to be expensive to repair after a crash. When Scott McFiggin's neighbour backed into his Rivian pickup truck last summer, the vehicle was left with a dent the size of a bowling ball under a rear tail lamp. McFiggin was expecting a couple $1,000 bill from the repair shop and to be without his truck for a couple of weeks. "I guess I was a little naive," said the 51-year-old San Francisco resident. "The actual bill came to $22,000 and the vehicle took 2.5 months to fix." For EVs, repairs following a collision can cost thousands of dollars more than their gas-powered counterparts. Because the fixes tend to require more replacement parts, the vehicles are more complicated and fewer people do such repairs. While those issues may ease over time, first-time electric owners may be startled by the higher costs and longer wait times. Last year, repairing an EV after a crash cost an average $6,587, compared with $4,215 for all vehicles, according to CCC Intelligent Solutions, a company that processes insurance claims for auto repairs in the US. The increased costs following collisions contrasts with the maintenance savings that dealers and automakers promote when trying to get buyers to switch to electric cars and trucks. In addition to not needing gas, EVs tend to require less upkeep. Not needing to do regular chores like oil changes, engine tune-ups or replacement of timing belts means that electric vehicle owners spend half as much maintaining their vehicles as their gasoline-owning counterparts, according to Consumer Reports, a non-profit consumer organisation. Still, when EVs need repair, it can be costly. Rental car company Hertz Global Holdings, which operates a large electric fleet mostly composed of Tesla vehicles, said its third quarter profit was pinched in part because of the cost of repairing electric models. High repair costs are also helping to drive up insurance premiums for electric owners, who pay on average $357 a month for coverage compared to $248 for gas vehicle owners, according to insurance comparison website Insurify. People are used to hearing that EVs have fewer parts than a combustion vehicle, but that is not the case in collision repair, said Mark Fredman, Chief Strategy Officer for CCC Intelligent Solutions. And then later on it says, vehicles containing lithium-ion batteries also require special storage consideration because of the risk of fire when they are damaged, said Scott Benavides, chairman of the trade group Automotive Service Association and owner of a collision repair business in New Mexico. Those precautions add both time and cost to the repair process, he added. And then further on it says repairing an electric car tends to take longer as well, in part because there are still a limited number of shops capable of doing this type of work. It takes 25% longer to get an EV into a body shop than a traditional vehicle, according to data from CCC Intelligent Solutions. Those repairs tend to take roughly 57 days compared with 45 days for non-EVs, the data showed. So the whole notion of EVs just being simpler than internal combustion engine cars really isn't true. And the massive 700-kilogram lithium-ion elephant in the room is the battery, of course, which sounds simple enough if you say it quickly, but is actually an incredibly complex component made of up to 7,000 individual lithium cells, together with electronic battery management systems and complex cooling systems. In the event of even a minor impact, repairing the battery becomes a complete pain, as it has to be completely dismantled and checked for any damage to the cells. Vehicle manufacturers and repairers simply choose to replace the whole thing, which isn't particularly environmentally friendly either, given the huge amount of raw materials and rare earth elements that go into each battery. More on this in future videos. And the battery isn't exactly located in the best place either, it's just above the floor of the car. So as in this next video, if you accidentally run over something fairly trivial in the road or scrape the bottom for any reason, you can effectively total out your entire car, even if the car is only 1 year old.
It all started on a road trip, and he was heading to the interior of British Columbia. He saw something on the road. He tried to avoid it. He felt like he did avoid it, and he went on his way. When he got back, he decided to get the vehicle checked out. When the dealership called him to give him an update on the vehicle, they said that they see damage to the battery protection cover. You can see scratches on the cover, but they also said that the round part where we have an arrow showing it has widened. And the dealership says that that means the battery was impacted, and that means his warranty is void. So Kyle decided that obviously this is not something that he could afford to fix himself. So he went through his insurance and the vehicle was sent to the body shop. So when he got a call from the insurer who told him that Hyundai has quoted battery replacement of $60,000 Canadian, the insurer said, your vehicle is not worth that much anymore. We are going to have to write it off.
Ouch, a 1 year old Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the battery is 60k Canadian and it's written it off. Oh my God. And this guy purchased a second-hand hybrid which has a combustion engine as well as an electric motor and battery. You'd expect a hybrid battery to be relatively cheaper given that it's small compared to a pure EV. But it was still enough to write off the entire car.
They called me and said, oh, I got bad news, Mr. Turner. You need a new hybrid battery and it's going to cost $18,000 for the battery and another $2,000 to have it installed. And I'm like, oh my God, my jaw dropped.
Here's the bill.
$20,744.90 for a new hybrid battery.
Lucas bought the car about 3 years ago for $16,000 and just paid it off.
I can't make this make sense in my mind. How does it cost $20,000 to just put a battery in a car that you only paid $16,000?
Of course, when you buy a second-hand car, you can't really make those kind of comparisons. But the reality is that in an internal combustion engine car, you can simply replace the individual parts that may have worn or broken, and that is much more efficient than having to replace an entire amorphous blob of a battery which you can't really repair easily. So once again, the black and white messaging of the EV proponents that says just because they're simpler they're going to be cheaper to maintain and repair is simply not true when you get into the details. And as I've said before in previous videos, the battery is still the weak link. It's delicate, difficult to repair, and astronomically expensive to replace. So that's just about it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you've got any tips or stories, you can hit me up on Instagram or by email. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.